Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 11th. As we have already started chapter number 11, that is electric current through conductor, and today's lecture will be part 4 of the same chapter. So let's see what we have done in our previous video lecture. So in our previous video lecture we have seen and we have done a derivation of cells in series and cells in parallel. So just let's have a quick review of that lecture. Now, cells in series. In a series combinations, cells are connected in a single electrical path such that the positive terminal of one cell is connected to the negative terminal of the next cell, and so on. The terminal voltage of battery is equal to the sum of voltages of individual cell in series. So as we have connected two cells in series pattern, and we have seen that the larger line of the battery schematic diagram of the cell is nothing but the larger line will show a positive terminal, and the lower or the smaller line will show the negative terminal of the cell. So as you can see here, the negative terminal of the first cell is connected to the positive terminal of the second cell. Now as we have connected the cells in series, so here we have found that the equivalent EMF of n number of cells in series combination is the algebraic sum of their individual EMF, and the equivalent internal resistance of the cell of n cells in a series combination is the sum of their individual internal resistance. So if we have considered that the EMF is nothing but E and the internal resistance of the cell is nothing but the small r, so when these all are connected in series, and so it will be nothing but the potential difference across will be nothing but, as this was we have done in the part 2, that the potential difference itself will be nothing but EMF minus IR. Okay, so when we have connected these are in series, so we can say that the potential difference across the cell will be nothing but summation of EMF of the individual cell minus current and summation of the individual internal resistance. So this is nothing but the cells, when cells will be connected in series, so it will be the potential difference across that, and this formula we have derived in our last lecture. So after this we have some advantages of cells in series. This was nothing but the cells connected in series produce a larger resultant voltage, and the second advantage was that the cells which are damaged can be easily identified, hence it can be replaced. Now cells in parallel, just have a quick recall of that. So when we have connected cells in parallel, so consider the two cells which are connected in parallel. Here the positive terminal of all the cells are connected together and the negative terminals of all the cells are connected together. In parallel connection, the current is divided among the branches, that is I1 and I2. Now here the ratio of EMF and internal resistance, that is E upon R, is nothing but E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2. If we have connected n number of cells in parallel combination, and if we consider that the E1 will be the EMF across cell number 1, E2 will be the EMF across cell number 2, E3 will be the EMF across cell number 3, and En will be the EMF across n number of the cell. So the internal resistance will be nothing but R1 across cell 1, R2 will be across cell 2, and Rn will be across cell Rn. So finally we can say that 1 upon internal resistance, that is 1 upon R, is nothing but 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 plus so on so plus 1 upon Rn. So this will be the internal resistance when we have connected cells in parallel combination. So EMF will be what? EMF will be Same. So here the ratio of EMF upon internal resistance, it will be nothing but E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2 plus up to dash 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 plus up to En upon Rn. So this was the ratio of EMF and internal resistance when we have connected cells in parallel. Then we have seen some advantages and some disadvantages of the cells when connected in parallel combinations. So here some advantages, that for cells connected in parallel in a circuit, the circuit will not break open even if a cell gets damaged or open. So this is the one of the advantage, but as it is having some advantage, so it is having some disadvantage also. So let's see this disadvantages of cell in parallel. The voltage developed by the cells in parallel connection cannot be increased by increasing number of cells present in a circuit. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of cells in parallel. Now after deriving expression of the cells in parallel and cells in series combination, let's see some types of cells. So electrical cells can be divided into several categories like primary cell, secondary cell, fuel cell, and etc. A primary cell cannot be charged again. It can be used only once. Dry cell, alkaline cells are different examples of primary cells. Primary cells are low cost and can be used easily, but these are not suitable for heavy loads. As we know that we have seen the many use of the primary cell, that is the dry cells. So when we are having the heavy object or any appliances, so it is not suitable for them. So let's see what is the secondary cells. So secondary cells are used for such applications. The secondary cells are rechargeable and can be reused. The chemical reaction in a secondary cell is reversible. Lead acid cell and fuel cells are some example of secondary cells. Lead acid battery is used widely in a vehicle and other applications which require high load currents. Solar cells are secondary cells that convert solar energy into electrical energy. So these are the some example of secondary cells and some example of the primary cell, and what is primary cell and what is secondary cell. So this is well explained here. Now fuel cells. Fuel cells vehicle, that is FCVs, are electric vehicles that use fuel cells instead of lead acid batteries to power the vehicles. Hydrogen is used as a fuel in a fuel cells. The byproduct after its burning is water, and this is important in terms of reducing emission of greenhouse gases produced by traditional gasoline fueled vehicles. The hydrogen fuel cell vehicles are thus more environmental free. So this is the more environmental friendly. So this is FCVs, that is fuel cells vehicles. So let's stop here. This is all regarding the cells, that is cells in series, cells in parallel, and then we have seen some types of cells. So this is all regarding the cells.